Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Dance Teacher Pep Talk. I am your host, Amanda, and I am so glad you are here. This is a space for dance teachers and anyone interested in teaching dance who is looking for motivation and fresh ideas. As teachers, we spend our days motivating and giving pep talks to our students, and now this podcast is a pep talk just for you. We hope that it helps to ignite new ideas and even work through some deep dance related thoughts before you head into the studio. Thank you for your support, and now let's get into today's episode. Hi, everybody, and happy November. I cannot believe it's already November. I think I said the same thing in October. But I really love doing an episode that starts the month off with thinking about either a general theme or goals for the month ahead. And so this episode is going to be sort of more of a general theme and how we can take this theme into our classes at this time of year. I hope that your classes are really going smoothly and well. And a reminder, if you're ever in that moment where you're feeling stuck or in need of inspiration, there are lots of episodes here on Dance Teacher Pep Talk you can always scroll through and listen to. And over on the Instagram at Dance Teacher Pep Talk, I also post weekly classroom tips and ideas that sort of pertain to the season we're in or the theme that I have kind of put out here on the podcast for the month ahead. Now, I don't know if it is like my organizational nature or what, but I always do like following a theme for each month because I feel like it kind of not only is it give a little bit of inspiration, but it helps me to stay surrounded around a common topic or something. So the way that I'm building my classes or my class material around a theme, whether it's holiday related or not, can be really helpful because it gives me a direction, it gives me a path, and then from there, I even have like more offshoots of inspiration. And so let's look at the month of November. So, as I mentioned, I am based in the US, and this all this content is based on the US calendar. So in November, we have the month of Thanksgiving. And for that reason, a lot of the time in the month of November, our schedules are really jumbled. We'll have like a couple weeks of dance, and then we have a break for Thanksgiving, and then it's all of a sudden like holiday season time, and that just seems to like fly right by. And then all of a sudden it's the new year, and we're back in the studio most of the time preparing either for busy competition schedules or for our recital performances. And so the year really does seem to fly when we look at it broken down in this way. And the month of November, we do have the holiday of Thanksgiving. And so this episode's theme for the month of November is all about gratitude and giving thanks because I really do feel, the word Thanksgiving broken down, giving thanks, it is a season of gratitude. It's a season of gratefulness. And even if you practice gratitude in every day, it's such a great reminder to be present in what we are grateful for and practicing gratitude when and where we can. I'm just scrolling through a few of these here, but I've heard of so many different studies about the effects of gratitude on our health and our well-being. And so there is so much research out there around gratitude and how it can bring us better health. And so like for example, just scrolling through a couple of these, I'm just looking at a study done by UCLA that says that several studies show that a grateful mindset and positively affects biomarkers associated with the risk for heart disease. And a 2021 research study even found that gratitude journaling can cause a significant drop in blood pressure, specifically diastolic blood pressure. Other things here that I noticed, studies have shown that this is from the Mayo Clinic, that feeling thankful can improve sleep, mood, and immunity. And what a special thing this time of year when it starts to get darker, with the daylight savings switch and everything like that. Like it gets darker earlier, and we almost go into like this hibernation mode, or at least me. I definitely feel like more hibernation like in the winter. And it's also a time where there are more germs and bugs to pick up. So, improving sleep, improving immunity, so wonderful just by practicing gratitude. I remember when I first heard about like practicing gratitude and how to do it. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, okay, like I'm grateful. I'm grateful all the time. I think about things I'm grateful for. But putting it into practice or like making it be a significant part of your day, I feel really helps to deepen that work even further. And so, with this month's theme of gratefulness and gratitude, really taking this time of year to reflect on what we are most grateful for, and also to look back on how the dreams we once had are now here and we are living them. It's such a beautiful thing. I feel like Regold always puts out a post like this at some point of the year, maybe typically in the beginning of the year. But what he always says is, remember that you are living the dream that you once had. Basically, like you had always aspired to be a dance teacher, and what a gift. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he uses the word gift. What a gift it is to be able to do what you love and to have followed your dream. So we can be so grateful for that. And even just taking a look back at all the steps that led you to this point, we can be grateful for that. And I know that a lot of journeys too, it's like, especially in the beginning, you may feel like you're working so hard and you're striving so hard to reach these goals, and maybe they don't happen as fast as you want them to. And we could also extend this lesson out to our dancers. But yeah, maybe they're not happening as much as we want to, but when we look back at everything that happened prior to that, we can see the progress that led us to where we are now, and that gives us hope to see the progress of what we are doing right now, even if it's not happening fast enough, how it could then pull you into that dream of your future. And being grateful for the steps along the way, I think is something that we can share with our dancers, and to promote that, because it's hard when we want certain things to happen right away. It's hard when we want to feel our extension grow to the height that we're hoping it to, or that whatever goal it is that we're having in dance and we're not seeing the results happening fast enough. But looking at the measures of how they've come so far to this point, we can be grateful for that. We can show that gratefulness. And so, not only is it important for us to take this season and think about the things we're grateful for, but also to share this season with our dancers, getting them aware of how we can show thanks in our dancing, thanks for what we do all the time. Because the thing is we put in so much hard work as dancers. It is physically grueling, it is emotionally grueling, it is mentally grueling. And so if we just take, this constant going and going and going, like it almost makes me think of like the train, like going up the mountain. If we just keep applying that same pressure going and going, and we don't take the time to just pause for a moment and say, you're doing a great job, or I'm so grateful for the work that I'm doing, even if it's just for yourself, like saying that to yourself, I'm so grateful for the work that I'm doing. Or it could be anything, any topic that you're talking about. That engine is just going to get more and more fatigued. So if we can really take this time this season and share it with our dancers, I think it's beautiful. One of my favorite meditations that I do with my contemporary classes around this time of year is we do our cool down and things like that. And then we go into a meditation moment where we take the time to thank our bodies, thank our minds, thank the space, and there are other things that we say to that we are thankful for, but it really connects us back to everything we're doing. So yeah, we're doing all this stuff all the time. We're working so hard, we're working so many hours, but slowing down and taking that time to give thanks is, in a busy world, we sometimes can really take it for granted. Like we're going and going and we don't even see how good it is, all the things that we're doing and why. So stopping and expressing that gratitude, because we could let so many special moments pass us by, even if it comes down to telling someone they did a good job and why, or giving someone that compliment. Don't hold back or shy about it. Like if there's ever someone, wearing a sweatshirt and you like love it so much, don't be afraid to say, "Hey, I love that sweatshirt that you're wearing," or something like that. What is it about it that's holding you back? So, gratitude for us, for those around us, for things that we see, and just kindness too. I mean, I guess complimenting goes along with kindness, but how often do we hold back from the things that we want to say? And we never want to take that for granted. We always want to make sure that we said the things that we wanted to say. Sometimes look back at the end of the year and feel, did I encourage the way that I wanted to? Did I support the way that I wanted to? And was I present within every class in that aspect? And, the answer to that is sometimes no. And so for me, that's a check that I can say, okay, make each class count, make each moment count, and just really to share that specialness with everyone, because time goes by so fast. And so just really taking the time to soak up all that you're in. And so, ways that we can work gratitude into our day, of course, is making a gratitude list or doing gratitude journaling. It may even just be that you wake up first thing in the morning and you take out your phone notes app and you write down 5 things or even 3 things that you're grateful for. And it could be the same list every day. And maybe you do this morning and night. And maybe you just do it within your head, like a running list. But taking that time to start and end your day can be such a beautiful way because it's immediately beginning with a positive experience and it's also closing out with a positive experience as well. Make sure that you're expressing gratitude to your students. They thank us at the end of class. Thank you, Miss Amanda. Thank you, this. But make sure that you're thanking them too because they're doing this hard work and they are putting, like I said, their physical, mental, and emotional bodies to the task of the grueling and rewarding work that we do. Other ways that we can express gratitude or work with gratitude is, think on it. Have moments in your day. Anytime you have a quiet moment, even if it's on your drive, if it's anywhere, and just, stop and say, like, when was the last time you felt grateful for the sight that you're seeing ahead in front of you? Feeling grateful for the meal that you're about to eat, feeling grateful for the special moment that you have ahead of you this weekend with a friend. Just letting yourself soak up in that feeling of gratitude. I have really tried so hard for my daughter to really share that beauty in the gratefulness of every season. Like for example, I'll go outside and the leaves look so beautiful and stuff like that. So I will say it like, "Oh my gosh, what a beautiful day. The sun is shining. Look at how beautiful the leaves are." Just really making the season that we're in so special. And it's so funny because I always do that because I want her to see the magic and the beauty and everything that is around us. And she has started saying it too without being prompted. And it's, to me, that's like so special because she's starting to understand, like, what does it mean for something to be beautiful? What does it mean to really say thank you when someone does something and you want to give thanks back to them? And I love that so much. The other day she was playing in a leaf pile, throwing leaves up in the air, and she just kept saying, "It's beautiful. It's so beautiful." And to me, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is just such a special moment because everything in that moment, the only thing that was important was her throwing the leaves." And so it can be the most simple, it can be the most, mundane type of thing. But in that moment, it was like she was expressing gratitude for that. She was expressing just beauty and gratefulness for all that she was doing. And I think it's a great reminder because we can get caught up so often in so many things. And so when we are able to take time to appreciate the things that are going well, I think that's just a great thing if we can do it. And obviously, too, when things are difficult, I think it's hard to reach down for a sense of gratitude because it's almost like, well, why is this happening? Or, if things feel dark or if things aren't going well and you're just, it's hard. It's hard to reach down and feel and find that goodness. But what I can say is, even just maybe taking little steps day by day and seeing if it helps or seeing if you can find ways that will help you through that darkness. And so and that's why I wanted to mention that too because obviously I'm not saying like every day is sunshine and beautiful flowers and look at that. It's not always like that. And so for somebody going through a difficult time, it may be hard to reach down and find the gratefulness. But when you do, maybe that will be what starts to help pull you up a little bit, even a little bit for the day. So, this month on Dance Teacher Pep Talk, we're going to really be talking about gratitude and how we can bring it within to our classrooms. So, on our Instagram page, I'm going to be sharing my favorite gratitude and kindness exercises that I do in my classes. Some are movement based and some are team building based. November on the calendar also seems to be at times a time when studios will do a Bring a Friend week. And with Bring a Friend, there's also that theme of friendship and, being grateful for the friends that you have. And so I'm also incorporating that into my tips for the month about how we can practice gratitude and kindness in our classes and with our teams. So definitely be on the lookout for that because I think it's so important, even beyond the skills and steps that we're teaching, that we're also taking the time to practice kindness. And I don't mean just saying, like, okay, everybody, you better be kind to each other and respect each other. It's way deeper than that. We have to practice it, we have to put it into motion. And at times, we may even need to do exercises to facilitate that because that's when it's more solid and that's when it's more felt and connected by the dancers. On the podcast, I did mention in Tuesday's episode that starting next week, we will be going to one episode a week through November and December. And then I will be starting a break on in December. So I will be keeping you updated on all of that. But in the month ahead on the podcast, we have some really special episodes. I'm going to be sharing 5 books that I love, dance related and not, as just a special time. We're getting into that cozy winter sort of hibernation season. And it's for me, it's always great to have a good book to curl up with. And so I'm going to be sharing some of my favorites. And actually, I think that'll probably be like an episode topic that I continue to come back to. I'm going to be sharing 5 books this month, but in future months, I'm sure I will share others because I have way more than 5 favorite books. I'm also going to be doing an episode with continued encouraging topics for us to help us, prepare classes and prepare our mindset for the week ahead, just as the Dance Teacher Pep Talk is all themed about. And I'm also super excited because I have a beautiful interview episode coming out with my good friend Kelsey Rigopoulos, who is a registered dietitian, and we had the most beautiful conversation about positive body image, body awareness, and nutrition and its place in the dance classroom. And I think it is so incredibly important that we are educated on this because there was so much that Kelsey said in the interview episode that I, didn't even realize about the current trends and current difficulties that our students, that generation is facing when it comes to diet culture and things like that. So definitely be on the lookout for all of those amazing episodes on our podcast and the tips on our Instagram page. I hope you have a wonderful month ahead. And if we can sprinkle in some gratitude in each day, let's try to make that a goal for this month ahead. Thank you all for listening to today's episode, and we'll talk soon.